Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing well. We are going to be starting a lesson this week. This will be our last lesson um, of our study of Australia. Next week we'll be starting a different country. I know we're so excited about that. So this week we're wrapping up Australia with the economic system. And today we're going to review some of the main economic systems throughout the world, and then tomorrow we'll really delve into what Australia does. So, that being said, let's get to this. If it will load. Come on. Here we go. All right. So, reviewing real quick about some of the basics of economy and the different types of economies that are found throughout the world. There are three main questions that every country must answer when developing its economic plan. And the three questions are: what goods and services will be produced? How will those goods and services be produced? And who will consume the goods and services? So, those are the three main questions that drive a country's economic plan. So, the way a country answers these questions determine what kind of economic system it will have. If it will have a traditional, if it will have a command, or if it will have a market economy. So those are the three main ones: traditional, command, and market. So in a traditional economy, all the economic decisions are based on customs, traditions, and beliefs of the past. So people will make what they always made and do the same things that their parents did. And a main characteristic of this type of economy is that the exchange of goods is done through bartering. Now, recall that bartering means to trade without using money. So we've talked about that before. Australia's Aboriginal people, prior to English colonization, used a traditional economic system. So before the English colonists came to Australia, the Aboriginal people used a traditional economic system. Here's a picture of Aboriginal people hunting kangaroo. The next type is a command economy. Now, under a command economy, all economic decisions are made by the government. So the government owns most of the property. It sets the prices of goods. It determines the wages of workers, so how much they make, and it plans what will be made. Everything. It controls every part of the economy. So this system has not been very successful, and because of that, more and more countries are abandoning it, meaning that they're not following this way of, or this type of, why can I not talk? This type of economy. So here's an illustration of a command economy. We could see the everything is under control of the government, and they control everything: what you buy, how much, what workers make, all of it. So this system's very harsh to live under. Because of this, there are no pure command countries in the world, meaning that there is not one country that just is a pure command economy today. Some countries are close to a command economy, and those are Cuba, the former Soviet Union, North Korea, former East Germany, etc. Now, if you think about all those countries, they all have the same type of government, and that is a communist government. So the government is in control of everything. So a huge characteristic for a pure command economy is to be thinking that that's the type of economy that a communist government would have, and the government controls everything. So here are some command economies. You can see in green. The next type is a market economy. So this system answers the three economic questions that we talked about based on supply and demand in the marketplace. So the goods and services produced are determined by what consumers want to buy and what producers want to sell. In this type of economy, the major characteristic that I want you guys to remember is that the government has no control over the economy, and private citizens answer all economic questions, which in theory, that's a lot of freedom. But when we look into it, in a truly free market economy, the government would not be involved at all. And that's scary because there would be no laws to make sure goods and services were safe. So think about food, medicine. There would be no FDA, none of that stuff. There would be no laws to protect workers from unfair bosses. And so because of this, there are no pure market economies. Just like there's no pure command economies, there's no pure market economies in the world, but some countries are closer than others, just like with the command economy. And then the last type is a mixed economy. So few countries have an economy that is run entirely by the government or completely by free marketplace 100% of the time. So since there are really no countries with either a pure command or a pure market economy, what does that make them? So most democratic countries, including us, have some characteristics of both systems. So we keep it simple and we call them mixed economies, okay? So we take a little bit of command and we take a little bit of market and we put them together to come up with this mixed economy. So here you can see this is an index of economic freedom. You see the United States is in green, which means that it's mostly free, but not all the way. The red countries, you see Argentina, you see parts in Africa, you see Iran, you see Ukraine, are repressed, okay? Meaning that they're still under a very mostly a command economy. You see Russia and China as in orange, Brazil also, meaning that's mostly unfree. So it's closer to being a command than it would be a market. Okay? I want you to notice Australia down there too in that darker green, which we're going to talk more specifically tomorrow about Australia's specific economic system. And you see that that's pretty much a dark green, meaning that it's almost all free market. Not totally, but almost all free. All right, so most countries' economies are closer to one type of system than the other. So they fall somewhere in a continuum between a pure market economy, where there's absolutely no government control on one end, and then a pure command economy where the government controls everything on the other end. So if we look at this economic continuum here, you can see that the pure command is on the left. That's with 100% government control and zero free market. And on the total opposite end, you see pure market, where it's 100% led by consumers and producers, and the government has zero control over it. And then you have A, B, and C. And you can see that A is closer to a command, C is closer to a pure market. So that will lead us to tomorrow. We'll be talking about the economy that's found in Australia today. Right now, I want you to go back to Google Classroom. I've created a form Google quiz for you to complete based on this discussion today. Oh, I also wanted to show you a short video on YouTube. Look at me being all sappy. Um, Getting really good at this, guys. Should be really proud of me. This kind of goes over the different types of economies here. So let me... It kind of explains it a little bit more. If it will ever play. There we go.
Nearly every society in the world faces the same fundamental problem. How to distribute limited resources to people in a way that will be fair and effective. This is what is called scarcity, and different societies approach this problem in different ways. There are four essential types of economic systems. The traditional economy is based on culture and rituals, and is focused on the community as a whole. Everyone pitches in and benefits from everyone else's efforts. Small societies focused on subsistence farming and hunting are considered traditional economies. An example would be a traditional Inuit village in North America. A command economy relies on the government to make all economic decisions, including allocating and distributing resources and regulating prices and wages. A modern example of a command economy would be North Korea. A market economy is driven by consumers whose decisions determine how the industries and financial markets will operate. Individuals choose how their resources are used, what goods to make, what services to provide, and what jobs to take. In a pure market economy, there is no government involvement. Because of this, there are no true pure market economies. Most societies today have mixed economies, which utilize limited government involvement while also applying free market concepts. One example would be the United States. However, nearly all other countries are some form of mixed economy as well. Each is unique and faces the challenge of finding proper balance between consumer choices and government control.
All right, so I want you guys to go to Google Classroom now and under the VLD topic with this lesson today, go ahead and finish up or complete that quiz for me. Also, I'm hoping that you guys all got the invitation to have our Google Meet class. I'll be with you guys Thursday from 2 to 2:30. Hoping to see everybody so I can see all your little cute faces that I miss so much. And this will, again, is not mandatory, but I would like to see you guys and just kind of check in and make sure, everyone's doing okay. And if you guys have any questions, you can always email me. Feel free to do that. I'm here to help. Hope everyone's doing well, and I'm hoping I get to see all you guys on Thursday at 2. Have a great day, guys.